What's up, guys? Welcome to March 22nd as we dive into Deuteronomy chapter 33. This is the blessing that Moses, the man of God, gave to the people of Israel before his death. The Lord came from Mount Sinai and drawn upon us from Mount Seir. He shone forth from Mount Paran and came from Meribah Kadesh with fire at his right hand. Indeed, he loves his people. All his holy ones are in his hands. They follow in his steps and accept his teaching. Moses gave us the Lord's instruction, the special possession of the people of Israel. The Lord became king in Israel when the leaders of the people assembled, when the tribes of Israel gathered as one. Moses said this about the tribe of Reuben: "Let the tribe of Reuben live and not die out, though they are few in number." Moses said this about the tribe of Judah: "O Lord, hear the cry of Judah and bring them together as a people. Give them strength to defend their cause. Help them against their enemies." Moses said this about the tribe of Levi: "O Lord, you have given your Thummim and Aram, the sacred lots, to your faithful servants, the Levites. You put them to the test at Massah and struggled with them at the waters of Meribah. The Levites obeyed your word and guarded your covenant. They were more loyal to you than to their own parents. They ignored their relatives and did not acknowledge their own children. They teach your regulations to Jacob. They gave your instructions to Israel. They present incense before you and offered burnt offering and offered whole burnt offerings at the altar. Bless the ministry of the Levites, O Lord, and accept all the work of their hands, that hit their enemies where it hurts the most. Strike down their foes so they never rise again." Moses said this about the tribe of Benjamin: "The people of Benjamin are loved by the Lord and live in safety beside them. He surrounds them continuously and preserves them from every harm." Moses said this about the tribes of Judah, of Joseph: "May their land be blessed by the Lord with the precious gift of dew from the heavens and water from beneath the ground, with the rich fruits that grows in the sun and a rich harvest produced each month, with the finest crops of the ancient mountains and the abundance from the everlasting hills, with the best gifts of the earth and its bounty, and the favor of the one who appeared in the burning bush. May these blessings rest on Joseph's head, crowning the brow of the prince among his brothers." Joseph was the majesty of a young goat. He has the horns of a wild ox. He will go distance nation, even to the ends of the earth. This is my blessing for the multitudes of Ephraim and the thousands of Manasseh. Moses said this about the tribe of Zebulun and Issachar: "May the people of Zebulun prosper in their travels. May the people of Issachar prosper at home in their tents. They summon the people to the mountain to offer proper sacrifices there. They benefit from the riches of the sea and the hidden treasures in the sand." Moses said this about the tribe of Gad: "Blessed is the one who enlarges Gad's territory. Gad is poised there like a lion to tear off an arm or a head." The people of Gad took the best land for themselves, and leaders' share was assigned to them. When the leaders of the people were assigned, they carried out the Lord's justice and obeyed his regulations for Israel. Moses said this about the tribe of Dan: "Dan is a lion's cub leaping out from Bashan." Moses said this about the tribe of Naphtali: "O Naphtali, you are rich in favor and full of the Lord's blessings. May you possess the west and the south." Moses said this about the tribe of Asher: "May Asher be blessed above other sons. May he be esteemed by his brothers. May he bathe his feet in olive oil. May the boils of your gate be of iron and bronze. May you be secure all your days. There is no one like the God of Israel. He rides out across the heavens to help you across skies in majestic splendor. The eternal God is your refuge, and his everlasting arms are under you. He drives out the enemy before you. He cries out, 'Destroy them.' So Israel will live in safety, prosperous, Jacob in security in a land of grain and new wine, while the heavens drop down dew. How blessed you are, O Israel! Who else is like you, a people saved by the Lord? He is your protecting shield and your triumph sword. Your enemies will cringe before you, and you will stomp on their backs. Chapter 34. Then Moses went up to Mount Nebo from the plains of Moab and climbed Pisgah Peak, which is across from Jericho, and the Lord showed him the whole land from Gilead as far as Dan, all the land of Naphtali, the land of Ephraim in Manasseh, all the land of Judah, extending to the Mediterranean Sea, the Negev, the Jordan Valley with Jericho, the city of palms as far as Zoran. Then the Lord said to Moses, "This is the land I promised on oath to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, when I said, I will give this to your descendants. I have not allowed you to see it with your own eyes, but you will not enter that land." So Moses, the servant of the Lord, died there in the land of Moab, just as the Lord had said. The Lord buried him in a valley near Beth-Peor in Moab, but to this day no one knows the exact place. Moses was 120 years old when he died, yet his eyesight was clear and he was as strong as ever. The people of Israel mourned for Moses on the plains of Moab for 30 days until the customary period of mourning was over. Now Joshua son of Nun was full of the spirit of wisdom, but Moses had laid his hands on him. So the people of Israel obeyed him, doing just as the Lord had commanded Moses. There has never been another prophet in Israel like Moses, whom the Lord knew face to face. The Lord sent him to perform all the miraculous signs and wonders in the land of Egypt against Pharaoh and all his servants, his entire land. With mighty power, Moses performed terrifying acts in the sight of all Israel. Joshua chapter 1. After the death of Moses, the Lord's servant, the Lord spoke to Joshua son of Nun, Moses' assistant. He said, "Moses, my servant, is dead. Therefore the time has come for you to lead these people, the Israelites, across the Jordan River into the land I am giving you. I promise you what I promised Moses. Wherever you set your foot, you will be on land I have given you, from the Negev wilderness in the south to the Lebanon mountains in the north, from the Euphrates River in the east to the Mediterranean Sea in the west, including all the lands of the Hittites. No one will be able to stand against you as long as you live, for I will be with you as I was with Moses. I will not fail you or abandon you. Be strong and courageous, for you are the one who will lead these people to possess all the land I swore to their ancestors I would give them. Be strong and very courageous. Be careful to obey all the instructions Moses gave you. Do not deviate from them, turning either to the right or to the left. Then you will be successful in everything you do. Study this book of instruction continually. Meditate on it day and night, so you will be sure to obey everything written in it. Only then will you prosper and succeed in all you do. This is my command. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or discouraged, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go." Then Joshua commanded the officers of Israel, "Go through the camp and tell the people to get their provisions ready. In 3 days you will cross the Jordan River and take possession of the land the Lord your God is giving you." Then Joshua called together the tribes of Reuben, Gad, and the half-tribe of Manasseh. He told them, "Remember what Moses, the servant of the Lord, commanded you. The Lord your God is giving you a place of rest. He has given you this land. Your wives, your children, and livestock may remain here in the land Moses assigned to you on the east side of the Jordan River. But your strong warriors, fully armed, must lead the other tribes across the Jordan to help them conquer their territory. Stay with them until the Lord gives them rest, as He has given you rest, and until they do possess the land the Lord your God is giving them. Only then may you return and settle here on the east side of the Jordan River in the land that Moses, the servant of the Lord, assigned to you." Then they answered Joshua, "We will do whatever you command us, and we will do whatever you send us." We will go wherever you send us. We will obey you just as we obey Moses. And may the Lord your God be with you as he was with Moses. Anyone who rebels against your orders and does not obey your words, and everything you command will be put to death. So be strong and courageous. Chapter 2 of Joshua. Joshua chapter 2. Then Joshua secretly sent out 2 spies from the Israelite camp at Acacia Grove. He instructed them, scout out the land on the other side of the Jordan River, especially around Jericho. So the 2 men went out, set out into the house of a prostitute named Rahab, and stayed there that night. But somebody told the king of Jericho, some Israelites have come here tonight to just spy out the land. So the king of Jericho sent orders to Rahab, bring out the men who have come into your house, for they have come here to spy out the whole land. Rahab had hidden the 2 men, but she replied, yes, the men were here earlier, but I didn't know where they were from. They left the town at dusk, just as the gate were about to close. I don't know where they went. If you hurry, you can probably catch up with them. Actually, she had taken them up to the roof and hidden them beneath bundles of flax she had laid out. So the king's men went looking for the spies along the road leading to the shallows or crossings of the Jordan River. And as soon as the king's men had left, the gates of Jericho were shut. Before the spies went to sleep that night, Rahab went up the roof to talk with them. I know the Lord has given this land to you, she told them. We are afraid of you. We are all afraid of you. Everyone in the land is living in terror. But we have heard now how the Lord made a dry path for you through the Red Sea when you left Egypt, and we know what you did to Sihon and Og, the 2 Amorite kings east of the Jordan River, whose people you completely destroyed. No wonder our hearts have melted in fear. No one has the courage to fight after hearing such things, for the Lord your God is the supreme God of the heavens above and the earth below. Now swear to me by the Lord that you will be kind to me and my family, since I have helped you. Give me some guarantee that when Jericho is conquered, you will let me live, along with my father and mother, my brothers and sisters, and all their families. We offer our lives as a guarantee for your safety. The men agreed. If you don't betray us, we will keep our promise and be kind to you when the Lord gives us the land. Then, since Rahab's house was built into the town wall, she let them down by a rope through the window. Escape to the hill country, she told them. Hide there for 3 days from the men searching for you. Then, when they have returned, you can go on your way. Before they left, the men told her, we will be bound by the oath we have taken only if you follow these instructions. When we come into the land, you must leave the scarlet rope hanging from the window through which you let us down, and all your family members, your father, mother, brothers, and all your relatives must be here inside the house. If they go out into the street and are killed, it will not be our fault. But if anyone lays a hand on people inside this house, we will accept the responsibility for their death. If you betray us, however, we are not bound by this oath in any way. I accept your terms, she replied, and she sent them out on their way, leaving the scarlet rope hanging from the window. The spies went up into the hill country and stayed there 3 days. The men who were chasing them searched everywhere along the road, but they finally returned without success. Then the 2 spies came down from the hill country, crossed the Jordan River, and reported to Joshua all that happened to them. The Lord has given us the whole land. They replied, for all the people in the land are terrified of us. And so that's the end for today. I didn't know that we were actually going to get into the book of Joshua, which is cool. But yeah, Moses, probably one of the greatest men to ever live, besides Jesus, obviously. He's probably one of the greatest. He's one of the greatest men to have ever lived on this planet. Yeah, this not like a whole lot to say. It's just kind of a lot of blessings that Moses send out to each of the tribes individually, asking for strength, asking them for protection, asking God to provide for them. That's what else. Blessing them in all their works, like the Levites. Their land being prosperous, and keeping them at a high power, so that other people around, like keeping them a very strong nation, makes other nations around them terrified of them. But that's just a lot of blessings that are given to the Israelites and stuff. Asking them to like Moses asking God to help the tribe of Naphtali to be rich and favored. But yeah, so something that stood out to me about Moses is like, yes, he disobeyed God, but God is still able to see beyond his one fault and say, like, Moses, you have, like, to basically say, like, you have made some mistakes, but you are my most faithful servant, and so with that, I'm gonna bless you with by see where your people will be going after you die and stuff. I think that's pretty cool. And like, I guess from the point where he's standing, he can see almost all the land that God will be giving to the people of Israel. And then we get to Joshua. The whole phrase "be strong and courageous" is very main message of Joshua's story. Is God asking him to be strong and be courageous through the midst of his uncertainties, as he faces uncertainties, which I think is really cool. And like how he's just like a natural leader. That's why like God chose Joshua to be the leader. It's because of how natural Joshua is when it comes to leadership. He has a lot of wisdom to offer. And so like, I guess the thing that really stood out to me about the whole story with the spies and Rahab is like Rahab being like a prostitute, being a prostitute, really like how like she's able to help the Israelite men spy, she is able to help the Israelite spies by lying to her own people about where these spies are. That just shows that like God can use our broken people to do his goodwill. Like Rahab, who probably like did not live the most God-honoring life, and yet God is able to use her life to make something amazing happen. And so with that, it's like whenever we go through something difficult, be strong and courageous, obviously, and really have faith, trust that God can still give you purpose in life, even if you have sinned in so many ways, even if you live a life that is dishonoring to God. That means you know that God has not abandoned you, that God still has a great plan for you, and all you have to do is yes, Lord, for the plan to work. But yeah, and then it's like, as we become followers of Christ, whenever we keep a promise, sometimes we have to go to learn to keep the promise that we give out to people. And I understand sometimes it's hard, but as we are representing God, as we are ambassadors of God, may we represent him well to the best of our abilities, but realizing like we still make mistakes. But yeah, gonna keep our promise and just show like God is never done using us, like it or not. He's always using us in ways that we don't even know ourselves. And so if we submit our life to him and let him use us, then we will be blessed. beyond anything else. So yeah, other than that, I don't have anything else to share. But may you go out today walking with strength and courageousness as you face these daily life struggles. So may you go walk with God.